Here's one more example using the Euro-US dollar on a 5-minute chart of employing the 3 techniques that you'll need to know and master that we'll show you how to use at ratiotrading.com. Thank you for attending another one of our online micro webinars where we show you the power and the efficacy of using Fibonacci extensions, retracements, the confluence or the lining up of those things, as well as market support to identify high probability areas for trade setups with known stops and targets. And in this case, what we see here is a very clear story. And the story is simply that we've broken out of a trading range with conviction. And this impulse leg drives us through the former high to put in higher highs and higher highs and higher highs. As a trader, you know that this area is important and will probably be retested. So we've got one layer of information to look for a retest. Okay, in addition to that, we can also employ our Fibonacci retracements and see that from the low to the high of this leg lines up with one of the key fibs. In this case, a 62. So now we have 2 layers of support in a very tight and a very narrow zone. And in this case, it's 42.75. Well, what else can we use to identify potential support? Well, if we break this up and we start to stretch it out a little bit, we can see that there are in fact what? Down legs in this move, and more specifically, there's one right here. I'll stretch it out even more so you can see it. Okay, let me pull the arrow away. Then you see that the market comes up to the high, double tops, comes down, retraces, puts in a pivot. So if I use this arrow right here to help you see, that's a leg. We can use our extensions now to look for a third group of traders that are potentially looking for an area to do what? To exit their trade. So if we come back in here, we can leave and see that now we have a zone from 42.70 to 42.80. We have prior structure resistance that's now support. We also have a 62 fib on the entire move up. Where do we anticipate the market to return to? Old resistance, new support, old support, new resistance. Okay, where would our stops be potentially on this trade? Well, if we come back into here and we look for the 786, we can have our stops in the trade just under this level. Our entry would be here, and we're looking for what? A retest of prior structure resistance. So we're risking 275 down to 245, so 30 pips to make what? 275 to 314, 25, 40 pips. So better than a 1-to-1 risk reward. And you can see that this trade does in fact work. So we can put stop, entry, and then up here, target. Target 1. Well, where would our second target potentially be? Retest of the highs, up here at 43.75 or just below. So over here I'll put target 2. So if you had 2 lots in the market, you'd potentially be looking for an exit just under this high. And as we scroll our screen over to the right, our trail stops are taken out. And we actually get within 13 pips of that. So depending on your trail stop rules, you were even more profitable in that trade. So using Fibonacci analysis, using prior market structure and support, using confluence. And again, how many things lined up here? We had a 62 fib. We had structure, support, which was very clear. Okay, we had a fib extension from a down leg. All three of those things together lining up right here for a launch up, and we get it. Remember, the rest of the world is watching these fib levels. You're not the only person. When you begin to read your charts this way and think about reading them like a book unfolding before you, and you're just putting in page markers as we go along, you can begin to, and you will see these areas. But you've got to practice drawing your legs. You've got to practice drawing your extensions and your retracements. It's an acquired skill. But when you acquire it, you know where your stops should be, you know where your targets should be, and you know where your extended targets should be. Simply go to ratiotrading.com. Scroll down to the right-hand side of the screen and click on the guest link. Once the page changes, be sure to go to the coupon box to enter number 618, enabling you to take this trial for free. Then simply put your first, last name, and email address in the proper boxes. Scrolling down, you'll see an area that allows us to learn a little bit more about you. But if you don't want to share that information, that's okay too. Scroll down to the bottom and click Submit to receive your registration email and confirmation logon instructions.